Back everybody to a younger view in sports. This is David the Snowman. It's still Christmas time, and this is my reaction to Jalen Hurts getting his first start. Now, Jalen Hurts comes up huge, keeping the Eagles alive in that division rate, coming in at 4-8-1 when the division leader, the Washington football team, is 6-7. They are still alive. They are still in it, and he gives Eagles something they haven't had in a while, which is hope. Jalen Hurts went 17 for 30, 167 yards, and a touchdown with a beautiful back shoulder throw, corner of the end zone to Alshon Jeffrey. Had to spin around and make that catch. He could not have placed that ball any more perfect than where it needed to be. And I think the one thing with Jalen Hurts is he had 106 rushing yards. It gave a spark to the offense, something the Eagles haven't had in a while, maybe since Michael Vick, which is he was running around. Carson Wentz would hold on the ball for way too long to where the defenses would just sack him. He was prone to taking sacks. Hang onto the ball, hang onto the football, hang onto the football, get sacked, overthrow a receiver. He is a shell of his former self. He was scared. He's been hurt too much, so he's just taking the sacks at this point. But what Jalen Hurts did was he ran around. He bought time. Carson Wentz is usually buying time. No, this time Jalen Hurts bought more time. Had 106 rushing yards. And I think another thing was they gave the ball to Miles Sanders more. This rushing game looked very, very good for Philadelphia Eagles. And I think that's what they were lacking with Carson Wentz starting. The run game wasn't working. Because if you drop back into coverage, Jalen Hurts can run on you. You give the ball off, RPOs. I think that will work best with Jalen Hurts is RPOs in the system. Throw it. He can throw a pretty nice ball. He did make a couple overthrows, a couple bad throws, ones that he shouldn't have made. But he didn't throw any picks. So he wasn't giving the Saints free possessions. He wasn't getting them short fields. They were either punting or they were going down and scoring. Now, I think the defense also really stepped up here. They made Taysom Hill look very uncomfortable, sacking him 5 different times. It all went good. Taysom Hill finished 28-38, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The defense was out here making plays, and that's what Carson Wentz never had. Carson Wentz never had any help. It was always him having to make the plays, his wide receivers dropping it. But with Jalen Hurts, they had a spark. They had something new. They had something fresh. And they helped out Jalen Hurts. What does that say about Carson Wentz? I don't know. But I think the run defense for the Philadelphia Eagles look even better, holding Alvin Kamara to 50 yards and a rushing touchdown. He didn't even do much in the passing game either. So I think this defense really shut the Saints down for an entire half. 0 points. They almost came back, but Jalen Hurts and the offense did just enough to keep them alive in the division race, in the playoff race. It's very sad that the 4-8-1 team is still not eliminated from the playoffs at this point, but that's the NFC least for you. Now, here's something. Philadelphia has got a dilemma. They have a big dilemma. Carson Wentz, the dude they're paying to sit on the bench, is $128 million. Cannot bring in free agents with that money taken away. Can't bring in top receivers. You can't help Jalen Hurts, right? Because if you're going to stay with Jalen Hurts, which is announced, he is going to start next Sunday. And if you're going to help him, if you're going to roll with him, got to get rid of Carson Wentz because you can't have that $128 million just sitting here. This is what Carson Wentz is going to do, getting paid $128 million. That's what he's going to do. He's going to get paid $128 million to do that, just to stand around the sideline, making like, man, it was good last year. Just shut the fuck up. That's what he's getting paid. And you can do that. So, what is a good trade partner? You can't cut him. That's a big penalty. You cannot cut him. You got to get some sort of value back from that. So, what would be good for both Carson Wentz and for Philadelphia? Well, I think what's best for Carson Wentz would be to trade him to Indianapolis Colts. Look, Phillip Rivers is old, okay? Look, he's going to be 40 next season. His numbers, 3,507 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, okay? He hasn't been bad. It's not been bad at all. But he's 40 next year. He's on a 1-year contract, $25 million cap hit. What are you going to do with Phillip Rivers next year, Indy? Go and make a trade for Carson Wentz. Now, here's why it makes sense. Here's why this trade makes too much sense to do. Who was his offensive coordinator when Carson Wentz looked like the 2017 MVP? Then he tore his ACL in like one of the last games of the season against the Rams. Frank Reich. Frank Reich helped him win a Super Bowl. He was at his best when Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator. Who is the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts? Frank Reich. Frank Reich is his head coach. Who was great behind a great offensive line in Philadelphia? Carson Wentz, who has one of the best offensive lines in the league. The Indianapolis Colts with Quentin Nelson. Great guy. Who? Indianapolis Colts. Are his weapons a downgrade or an upgrade? Well, Alshon Jeffrey and Jalen Reagor as his weapons. Who is who? T.Y. Hilton. I say he's better than Alshon Jeffrey. Michael Pittman, great rookie receiver. He's had a great year. Jonathan Taylor as running back. Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines. Marlon Mack's going to get healthy. It makes way too much sense. Former offense coordinators, now the head coach. They work well together. Great offensive line. Better weapons than Philadelphia. And Philly has already shown they could be out on Carson Wentz. They have already shown they're out on him. Indy. I know it's a big contract to take on. But would he do better? Look at Phillip Rivers last year with the Chargers offensive line. He was terrible. 20 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. Carson Wentz this year could be projected, if he was still playing, could have been projected to do that, exactly that. Phillip Rivers with one of the good offensive lines, 20 touchdowns, 9 picks. This could be a great trade for Carson Wentz. This could be a great trade for Indy. Indy, the most you would have to do would give up a second-round pick. And Philly, if they give you a second-round pick, third-round pick, you got to take that. $128 million, second or third-round pick. That's it. Indy, that was all you had to give up for a younger Carson Wentz, a guy who would stay there longer. And if he does bad, you lose a third-round pick. And, $128 million. Then you can deal him out somewhere else. The Jets, a team that could need a quarterback sometime in the future. He'd be a great backup. So, again, I know you drafted Jacob Eason out of Washington, but he's not going to get any playing time. Jacoby Brissett's right there. Phillip Rivers, no. Go out and get yourself Carson Wentz. All you have to go with a third-round pick. I think Philadelphia would be jumping to the phones. They'd be like, we'll take a fourth, a fifth, something. Maybe you can get a package deal. Get rid of some more cap space. I think Carson Wentz to Indianapolis is the perfect move for both parties. Thank you for listening.